It's not about the size of the blade, it's how you cut it and balance it and sharpen it. Yeah, that was random. Hey guys, what's going on? This is Nick here with Spark Gap Garage, and in today's episode we are going to be trimming down and balancing lawnmower blades. Now this process is actually pretty easy. However, you've got to have patience, which I'm not a doctor, so I don't have patience. But with little patience, you can actually balance these at home. You don't have to take them to a shop. You don't have to take them to like Farm and Cheap or anything like that. You can actually do it. So this is the old blade off of a lawnmower I'm working on, and we got to replace them. So the only size that, you know, Menards had was these 24 inches, and these are significantly shorter. So trimming it down, balancing it is the name of the game. So what you'll need for this is obviously a balancer, a marker of some sorts, new blade and old blade if you are doing what I'm doing, and then safety glasses is a key. You don't want sparkies in your eyes, not a good idea. And then some sort of cutoff wheel. You can use a saw, you can use whatever you want. Now these blades are hardened steel, so they are pretty tough to cut, but with time and patience, you'll cut through them. Okay, so to begin with, what I like to do, new blade with old blade. These are two separate or two different manufacturers, so they're gonna be different as far as the curvature and the actual cutting blade. But this is important right here. The holes don't matter really all that much, but the parts that actually engages or grabs onto the pulley system on your mowing deck is important. So line that up with the new blade, get it pretty close. I'm sure they make a tool for this, but you know what? I'm a cheapie and don't want to buy that tool. What you want to do at this point, all this looks relatively lined up. Hold it down and get a rough mark of where old blade edges go into new blade edges. It doesn't have to be exactly precise because we are going to shave this down and balance it. What this is going to allow us is to cut this down and verify that, one, this new length, that when we get these edges cut off, will fit in the mowing deck. And that's actually what we're going to do. We're going to get these cut off, and then we're going to go test fit without shaving anything down right away. Test fit to verify that this clears the edge of the mowing deck, and then we can do the balancing. Okay, so first off, excuse the lighting. I am in my basement. It is 100,000 million degrees outside, and I don't want to do this outside because that will make my patience level go way down, and I definitely want to take my time with this. So with your angle grinder in your hand, safety glasses on. I recommend wearing some sort of hat. That way you don't get sparkies in your hair and then burn all your beautiful hair off. What you're gonna do is cut. Let's see if I can show you guys this. Bring you guys in. So we got our mark right here. I'm not gonna cut right on that line. What I wanna do is cut outside the line a little bit longer than what I need, so that way I can shave this down and balance it, and that's part of the whole balancing act. So we're gonna go ahead and cut this. Now this process will take some time, so be patient. As you guys can see, there's the line. I got a little close towards the bottom, but that's fine. There's still plenty of meat and bone up there to shave down to balance this out. So when I bring you guys back, I will actually have this kind of cut like that, but this side identical, and then we'll get into actually making sure this will actually fit into where the mowing deck is. Okay guys, so now that we're at the mowing deck, you can see that this is the correct orientation. You don't want the blades like this because it will not sit in. Put it in exactly how you take it off. Now you want to make sure that there's plenty of clearance. Now you can see that there's a tight area right here, which is completely fine because I like to, when I shave these down, I'll curve the edges a little bit. but this is what you want to see. Now you can actually rotate this around, but as long as you generally have good clearance here and here, then yeah. So now we can actually get into the balancing procedure. Now this will also relate to if you're just sharpening your blades, you always have to rebalance as you sharpen. So when I bring you guys back, we will be back in the shop. Okay, so now that we're back in the shop, this is when you will use your balancer tool. Now on a nice level top, place it. You want to see that gap between the cone and the base even across. And what that'll allow is, let's say the blade is off like this, that means you have to shave the side that is touching down. And I'll show you what that means right now. This is not going to be exactly placed on there correctly, but you can see how that side's touching, that side's not. You would shave down more on that side to level it back out. So this right here looks very, very close, but you can see my left side is actually a little bit lower than the right side. So what I'm gonna do is exactly what I said. I'm gonna curve the edges and even file down or grind down the blade, the edges here to kind of make another blade, and that should help balance those out. There we go, get our clamp down, and then just take off some material. Now you definitely want to make sure you do this a little bit at a time. Back you guys up just a little bit. And that way you don't take off too much material. Get this somewhat centered on your tool. And you can kind of see that we are so close. And what I'll have to do is file off a little bit more. Now the corners, I kind of rounded them off. The blade side I did not touch. So what I'm gonna do is kind of flatten at an angle this edge right here, and that'll act as another blade. Okay, so now that we have both sides, you can't see it, filed down, this is pretty close. That is spot on as far as, I'm gonna say spot on, but it's actually very, very close. And you can refine it down to even more level, but that's depending on your patience level. You can see the white line edge right there. That's where I ground down to both sides, and I'm actually pretty okay with this. Now, if you are sharpening, let's say brand new blade, or you're just sharpening, this is already down to size, you would grind the blade side, which is the tapered. You can't see that. There we go. The tapered size, you would grind that down, and you would want to rebalance that, because then it'll add unnecessary stress on your pulleys and your bearings, and you definitely don't want that, because these things spin obnoxiously fast, and having one of these fly out from underneath your mower is definitely not a good idea. So balance your blades. So, all right guys, I'm gonna end the video here. I wanna thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope to see you in the next one.